Hey everyone, Clay here with Dungeons and Javas, helping you stay to level up. Today I thought we'd jump into a little historic brawl, and I wanted to make one of my favorite decks a blue-black flash control. So I chose Ashiok as my commander and kind of built around her with tons of creatures and enchantments that have flash, and then some counter spells to keep my opponent's tempo down while I am setting up my board state. So basically just a lot of counter spells and flash, couple of card draw, pretty simple and straightforward, but usually very effective. I did throw a Teferi in here for a little bit of extra control, a Thassa to bounce a couple of my good creatures, and coming in late with a Zarath San, Voracious Great Shark, and a Lochmere Serpent. And then, of course, put in a couple of the flip lands. So I got the Seagate Reborn. I've got the Jawari Disruption. I do actually have a Agadeem's Awakening I should probably throw in here. So let me go ahead and do that really quick. Yeah, let's see. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into a brawl match and see how this plays out. I do hope that them playing or them having brawl, looks like we got a Krenko deck, them having brawl on arena is a precursor to us eventually getting commander. So I didn't really have 3 mana on my opening hand, so I didn't mind dropping that early. You know he's going to have some ridiculous tempo here with some goblins, so I'm going to go ahead and drop in a blue here and see if I need to bounce anything. That's a problem in most goblin decks. So I could always see about bouncing the Skirk Prospector, but he can just cast it right now, so I'm not going to bother doing that or during the combat phase, certainly. I have to decide whether it's worth it. I didn't draw any of my counter spells, and we do have Krenko coming up in potentially 1 round with this, so I think I do, just to stop his tempo, have to, well, I could always bounce Krenko once he brings it out since it doesn't have haste, so I'll wait to do that. Waiting on what he's got going on here. He could potentially pay something for 3, but I don't think he would. Waiting on you, buddy. Any day now. All right, well, not a great start for me, but like I said, I think, well, let's see. He might, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and play Ashiok here. He might sack the Torch Courier in his second main to bring out Krenko. So, let's see what damage we can do here with milling him a little bit and popping his graveyard. Maybe give him another target to swing at with his 2 goblins here. Give me a little bit of time. And then back on my main phase, I will Brazen Borrower his Krenko back to his hand. So I imagine he swings 2 here, then pops Courier. No. the other Krenko comes out to play.
Your lack of fear disturbs me.
So let's see, when he attacks, you put a number of +1/+1 counters on him. Oh, and then spit out a bunch of goblins. Well, that's going to be a problem for me. So I think what I'm going to have to do here is go ahead and mill him a little bit more. Then unfortunately bounce this Krenko back to his hand to prevent him from going really wide. And suffer the loss of Ashiok Jr. there. And then deal with the aggro that comes out. That's pretty smart, giving him haste. So it will spit out a goblin. Or 2, because his power is 2. Makes sense. I think it would have been fine if I would have had a couple of my counter spells in my early hand here. But as it is, I'm not doing that great. Alright, I do have the Great Shark here to flash in. Assuming he even bothers dropping Krenko, the big guy. He's certainly got a lot of mana. That does not counter a Planeswalker.
What? My hair is on fire? I know.
I never heard the Chandra speak that before. That's pretty funny. Well, it looks like I'm going to take a ass beating here. Should I flash in the Great Shark to kill the Goblin? I think I need to at this point. Just to stop this endless train of him creating more goblins. He might have some sort of pump spell. No, he does not. Well, that's one threat dealt with. Let's see what else we got here. Gonna bring out Krenko. It'll be interesting since I can make him pop Krenko back to his hand with Ashiok. Sure, I'm glad he doesn't have haste. Unless he's going to spit out a goblin that gives him haste here. This is possible. Just pop my guy. Alright, well, I think he's got me just from a pure tempo standpoint. So I think I'm going to bounce Krenko back to his hand, give up Ashiok, and see if I can't maybe draw into some power here.
Your heroics are but a dream to me.
Yeah, that Prospector is really what
You're going down.
helped him out so much. I believe you, Chandra. I probably am going down. At least he's got to swing the Chain Whirler at Ashiok, so I'll only take one here. I will absolutely move her back to the command zone. That's a pretty cool animation there. Well, now I'm getting down to the wire. I need something pretty amazing here. Hopefully I can scry into it. I don't really have any board wipes or anything like that in here. And now I'm getting my early countering spells. Fuck both of you. Let's see here, and I can't even flash that in because I tapped my black. So I suppose just for a little bit of protection that she can just kill with Chandra probably, but yeah, he's pretty much got me. He can pop that creature with Chandra, swing in, create some more tokens, or not.
Today's my lucky day.
Oh, that was an amazing top deck for him. At this point, I think I just congratulate this guy on his win and move on since I don't have any board wipes. Well, let's see if I can get this deck to stand up on its sophomore journey here. Liliana. Is that the discard deck? Untouched by death. Well, this is not a great start, but we will keep it. So, zombie tribal. Glad we did get a black there. That's good. At least we can counter her on turn 4 with negate. That'll help me with some tempo. Hopefully get another black mana, so next turn we can cast this. And the goblin train has started. And unfortunately I can't cast Slow the Wisp because I need to counter his Liliana turn 4. Take 2 to the face here for my troubles. Ooh, to fairy. That's quite interesting. Is it 4 mana? I think because I've got the Voracious Great Shark to cast next turn, I'm going to hold and probably just go with the Flashing and the Slither Wisp. Ooh, zombie tokens have Death Touch, so I gotta make sure not to block that guy. Might have some sort of removal. Sure does. I do not like that guy. That guy is very good. Alright. He wisely held back here. Let's see. Could counter that with Great Shark. I think we'll do that. Oh shit, Grey Shark couldn't have countered Lily anyway. It's not a creature or an artifact. Awesome. Well, let's see what I get when I yield this scry here. Brazen Borrower I like a lot. Doesn't give me the option to do much with it. Pay 3 life here. Okie doke. That's got Summoning Sickness. So I think I will go ahead and pop Ashiok here. -3 her to spit that back and make him discard, although I'm guessing they want to discard a little bit. And we'll hang her back. The Elder Spell. That's awesome. And he's got his removal train going, so no worries. That was just entertaining right there. Okay, we'll drop it to Fairy here. Start the card draw train. Oh, wow. I don't know why that meant instant speed scoop, but okay. Hey, we got a win with the Brawl deck. See if we can make it 2 out of 3 before we close down this video. Maybe he just had to go. Maybe it was just one of those situations. And I thought that had the makings of being a pretty good game. Very interesting start. I like it. So he's got Calyx, so he's running an enchantment-based deck. Turn 1 Selfless Saver. In situations like this where I have nothing to play, I just like throwing in the land that's going to enter tapped. That way I don't have to deal with anytime you've got like an X spell in your hand and it keeps asking you for priority. Well, for a Calyx deck, a Nessian Wanderer and a Selfless Savior, turn 1 and 2 is pretty freaking good, I do have to say. So that's pretty decent, but I'm not going to counter it. But I am going to try and get rid of his Selfless Savior here. So that was at least good. And let's see here. Definitely want to drop that. Hold back for a Slither-Wisp if the Lofty Denial doesn't counter Calyx. And let's go ahead and hold her back. Hopefully it doesn't drop a land here, or else Lofty Denial won't do shit. Those are quite the interesting lands. Ooh, yeah, I think I definitely have to say no to that. Oh, I forgot I had a flyer, so Lofty Denial would have counted it unless he paid 4. Okie doke. I think it's to Fairy time. I mean, I could have flashed it. Well, I could flash in Slither-Wisp and Spectral Sailor, draw a card, have them lose a life. He'll probably get Calyx out. I think I like that a little bit better. Maybe he's a little bit wary of the counter spells now. Those are just really weird mana. It's really tripping me up. How they look like triomes. Well, let's see. What is the trigger here? A lot of land. As long as he doesn't have any real big card draw, I think I'll be okay here.
Will not let the threads of fate
will not let the threads of fate unravel any further. Hopefully he whiffs here. That'd be awesome. Let's see, what is it? Oh, Growing Rights of Itlamok. Nice. Well, let's go ahead and... Oh, I didn't... Oh, okay, I thought it tapped my other blue there. That was funny. I almost freaked out for nothing. Okie doke. So I think we can keep his tempo down pretty well here by bringing out Ashiok, starting to bounce his guys back and make him discard. Then we send the team at Calyx, make him block with the Nessian Wanderer. Beautiful. I don't think that turn could have went better for us. Ooh. Well, looks like Ashiok's going bye-bye. That's alright. We'll move her to command zone. She'll be back. What does he have in his graveyard to bring back? The Archon. That was an amazing draw for him. Let's see what we can do with what we've got here. So, at the Fairy, leaving mana open for Jawari Disruption? I think so. So I could take Calyx out, I could just recast him. Spit that out. Yucky. But we will send the team at Calyx, see if he blocks or not. Did block. I think that was probably best case scenario for me. Of course, he would have to use the mana to... Oh, I can't counter it because it's 2 mana more. Jerk. Going rights. He'll flip it into... Well, at least he didn't have a bunch of creatures to generate a bunch of mana for that. So I've definitely got to deal with him bringing back the Archon of Sun's Grace. Well, he's getting all of his removal, isn't he? I'll do one more filter then.
Time to improvise.
Alright. Well, we'll spit that at well. Do we need to? We could recast Ashiok. There's nothing to bounce. He'll bring back... I think we're going to spit out the Jawari Disruption here.
Looks like I'm out of time.
Oh yeah, that persists. Alright, well. And let's see, we'll just call it a turn, because bringing out Thassa doesn't help me, does it? Bouncing any of these guys. That's cast, so no. We'll save this for Negate and Omen of the Sea. Yep, knew that was happening. That's a cast trigger too. Oh no, it enters the battlefield. Okay, that's not too bad then for us. So we'll be able to bounce that with Ashiok. Counter whatever enchantment he plays here.
Skyward and receive the gifts of the gods.
I like where I'm at. That is an enchantment as well. Each other creature you control enters the battlefield with a +1/+1. So we will get that regardless. I don't care if he has hexproof. So oh, it's a creature, so I can't even cast it with negate anyway. So get your fella. That's fine. I didn't even bring the other one out. Let's see what we get here. We flash this in. I do have... That's a creature, so that is a great draw, great scry for me. And we will then flash this in to counter that. We've got our engine going very well. Alright, so now we do Ashiok. Bounce that, make him at least discard that. Sure, you can take, well, yep. Bounce that token. Make you discard that. Don't really have any creatures in here, so we'll go ahead and drop this as a land. Enters tapped. And let's send in the Great Shark. Towards you. I don't really care about Calyx. You gotta whiff one of these times. I mean, come on. Smothering Tide. Awesome. Whenever we draw a card. Alright. So we'll jump here. Okie doke. Are any of these a rogue? That's fine. You can... Ah, shit, I didn't mean to auto pay. Oh well.
My kin are delightfully friendly.
That'll be nice if we can pull out an Elspeth from that, though. So I think first things first, I will swing in with the Great Shark. That thing having lifelink's a pain in the ass. It's basically offsetting everything I'm doing here. Okie doke. Everything has flash over here, so I will just hold mana back.
Look skyward.
Pretty interesting.
The gifts of the gods.
Yeah, we will just go ahead and... I can't see. Negate. Interesting. Do I care about Ashiok? I am thinking, my friend. Could definitely bounce something, make him discard it. So I think I am going to pass to blockers and go ahead and block that. My turn, I will get some value out of casting a creature with flash. And now I'll auto pay since I don't have anything else to do with the mana. You can have it. Alright, so if I bounce the Archon, I can swing in big against Calyx. Or I could bring in Thassa, tap his blocker. I think I'm just going to do that though. Bounce the Archon, force him to discard. Hold my cancel mana back for that one. Next. So we'll go... Actually, do we +1 to Calyx? I think we just send the team at him right now. He might block Slither-Wisp here, which is going to suck. So I'll lose my flash engine value, but... Okay, good. Don't care about the Great Shark. And we will call that a turn. Definitely going to counter Archon of Sun's Grace. Unless he pulls out a ridiculous enchantment. That's fine. Get rid of that. Chinese Pride Mate, no worries there. Do your thing. Pass. Go ahead and flash in Zareth San. Draw your card, that's fine. Or get your treasure token, I should say. Resolve. Decline to pay that. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. So we will go ahead and play Thassa. Then we will go ahead and tap one of his fellas. So he'll block 4, he'll have to take lethal. Calyx doesn't matter. And that's the way that flash control is supposed to work. So, I feel pretty good about the deck I threw together. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching a little bit of gameplay here. As always, visit us in the store at Dungeons and Javas at 4420 Austin Bluffs Parkway. Check us out on Discord. Our Discord channel is Dungeons and Javas, and if you complete your Friday night events there, I will send you some codes for some goodies. Once again, this is Clay with Dungeons and Javas, helping you stay up to level up.